Good morning. It's Vijay here. Today is Wednesday, 10th of December 2025. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Market Commentary. Today, officially, silver in dollar terms has become a senior citizen, which means it has crossed 60 and it is going strong at around 61. Now, silver has been our most preferred bet for the last 2 years, and especially in the last 6 months, we have just increased our bet across all our portfolios, and touch wood, with as of now it's paying off well, and still believe that this is just the beginning of a long journey which will be volatile. But I think when we see end of 2026, we should see much higher levels in silver. Now, silver also ignited other commodity stocks like gold and platinum, but gold is still lagging. General rule is that once the gold starts first, and then when silver follows, silver leads gold. So this is the pattern which played in the past and which is happening now. So here, unfortunately, people are very bearish on silver. Even now, they feel it's too high. When it was $34, this is not only in India but also globally. When silver hit $34, people said that is the peak. When then they said at best it can go to 44. It went to 44. Then they said it cannot cross 50 because 50 is a 45-year high. It crossed 50, went to 54, and then it collapsed to around 40s. And then people said the top is done. Now it has crossed 54, and for the last few days it was hanging around 56, 58, and yesterday it crossed 60. It's a blue sky territory. The distance, covered is very quickly in the last month, about 22, 24% it has risen, which is too high by any standards. So it may again consolidate. But as I said, that there's a long way to go. So what happened in Indian market yesterday? Market, the first 1 hour was gripped with panic because there are a lot of selling, apparently because of the margin trading funding which the brokers do, and apparently the value is about 1.02 lakh crores. Last year at this time it was about 80,000 crores, so about 25% increase in the value of MTF, whereas the prices have not gone up. In fact, prices have come down, which means in terms of a number of shares, more number of shares have been lent through the year. And as we stand last week, last Friday, it was 1.02 lakh crores. So that is a very worrying sign. That is why I've been insisting, do not get into mid caps, small cap and micro cap, which have already done very well in 23-24, because that is where the margin funding would be, or in say stocks which are considered extremely safe, like the PSUs, some of the PSUs like the power sector, oil sector, where people would think that okay, it will not fluctuate, so we can take money out of it and invest in the market. I think this kind of bloodletting will go on for some time. It may affect the indices, but not so much now onwards, is my opinion. December is a very volatile month, which I showed yesterday. So we should expect volatility. Yesterday, in fact, most technical analysts said that the index has broken key levels, and therefore now we should see from 25,800 levels to around 24,800 levels. That is what people are expecting. I do not agree with that. Of course, no one can only be known whether you're right or wrong. I believe that we are somewhere around the bottom, because for the short term, at least, when I say short term, between now and budget, I think we'll get higher numbers than what we are seeing today. Yesterday, where panic subsided after the first hour, and buying came in a good measure. Though Nifty closed 120 points lower and Bank Nifty closed about 15 points lower, but the mid cap, small cap, and micro cap recovered. So I feel the first round of bloodletting is over. Now you will tend to see better numbers as we go along. What happened to global markets yesterday? US Dow Jones fell about 175 points, mainly led by JP Morgan. S&P was flat, and so was Nasdaq was up about 40 points. Europe also did not do anything great. Today, you must remember that it is the Fed meeting. Today night, it will be announced. The interest rate cut should come. Everybody is expecting that. But what will Powell say in the press conference is more important. So that will decide the fate of the markets for the next few weeks till the next Fed meeting is there. I personally feel he will be dovish, because he can't afford to be, hawkish at this juncture. He will probably say data dependent, and the globally the markets are positioned for higher inflation more than anything else. So that is why you saw metals going up yesterday. You saw bond yields going up, and that is a worrisome thing for the equities. So one has to be very cautious in equities, but there are lots of other, what I call the pseudo equities like metals. We are really not equities in that sense. So there are opportunities there. There are also opportunities in companies which are purely India focused, like banks and financial services companies. So we are concentrating on that kind of a thing. So Brent was weak yesterday. At one time it had gone to $63. Then it is around $62. Gold has not yet participated, but I think slowly and steadily that will participate. Copper was flat. Other metals were flat. Interesting news. We had Microsoft head coming into India, and he promised, after meeting our Prime Minister, he has promised a $17.5 billion AI investment in India. That should augur well for the tech stocks today, I suppose. Then other stocks which are likely to be in positive territories. AUS SFB, Small Finance Bank, has got their approval. The government has given approval to raise the FII investment to 74%. So I'm expecting some big foreigner to come and buy into AUSFB. So that should be in the positivity. IRB Infra has their monthly collections have gone up by 16%. So that should be positive. Then GPT Infra has got a big order. So that should be in positive. Nalco, for instance, has got they have approved a bauxite. Government has approved. They've given a bauxite mining contract to Dilip Bilkon. So which means they're expanding there, and Dilip Bilkon also should be benefited. But Zydus Life Sciences is supplying a particular drug to US and Canada, so that should also be in the positive. Negative is Interglobe Aviation, because while the management says that they are near normal, the DGCA said that they'll cut 5% of the routes. The government of India says 10%. So there is some confusion. We had traded yesterday in Interglobe, that is Indigo. We made some money. We had carried forward something. Maybe we'll dump it first thing in the morning. The two or three things in terms of fundraise. Yesterday, GQG Partners offloaded 676 crore worth of JSW Energy in a bulk deal. So again, the mutual funds would have bought this. So mutual funds bought heavily yesterday, and FIs sold heavily. And at the end of the day, mutual funds were the net buyers as usual. The numbers are nowadays not mattering because it's an everyday affair. But at the end of the day, I'm still looking at the third force is very strongly selling. So one has to be careful. So net, today may be a volatile day within the range. Yesterday was also the weekly settlement, so that could have also added to the Nifty's weakness. We are cautiously bullish. We continue to be bullish. We continue to look at metals. Then banks. We look at some select pharma. But we are also cautious in trying to take some hedge positions in Nifty and Bank Nifty to just take care of our portfolio. Not that we learn anything out of the hedges, but we learn at least, if not anything. So GIFT Nifty is saying it's flat, but I think it will not be flat. It should be volatile and maybe nervous at the end of the day because of the US Fed meeting. So whatever you do, I hope it is successful. Thank you for joining me.